Are you employed or are you self-employed? There are two distinctions. Someone who considers themselves to be self-employed means that they work in effect under their own name or their own company, and they provide services or products, and they do not receive a salary. They sell services either by the contract or whatever, by the hour, or they sell, but they have to generate that in order to be able to eat. Someone who has a job, works full time or part time for one employer, one company, and receives a paycheck at a predetermined time each time, hopefully. However, the person who has the full-time job or the as an employee should think of themselves not so much as an employee, but as being self-employed, but providing all of their services to one client at a time. The reason for the difference in viewing it is that people who work for one company sometimes look for either their loyalty to the company or they look for other opportunities within the company, and they have to hope that their bosses will want to offer it to them. However, if you think of yourself as being self-employed to one client at a time, what is your motivation? Your motivation is that you want to increase your income, increase your visibility, promote yourself, and grow within your profession or within your services. And sometimes that opportunity does not happen inside your employer. I can promise you one thing from enough experience: loyalty from an employer to an employee really doesn't exist. They talk about it, but it really doesn't exist. They want the employee to be loyal to them. But whether or not they want to pay you or raise you, or if they find someone who can do your job for cheaper, they wouldn't think twice about moving you out of your job and firing you. Well, in the same way, you should think of yourself as in ways to improve yourself. And the way to improve yourself is very often to look around for other opportunities that would pay more, or opportunities you could grow into based on what you know that can pay you more and give you more visibility and make you more successful in the work that you do. Now, looking for job ads, that isn't really the answer. That's like a last resort. The from what I've Again, from what I've been doing all these years, it is very valuable for people who have in positions in companies to join business groups, whether they're professional or whether they're technical or whatever it is they are. Join these groups. These are professional organizations where you get to meet other people from other companies and other aspects of the industry and get to know each other. It's good for your visibility. It can increase your knowledge. And also, the quiet part of it is that it may bring you opportunities for self-improvement that you wouldn't get from your employer or that you wouldn't really hear about in the job ads. Very often opportunities come up that go to people who they know. It's, yes, people complain it's on the inside, but in fact it really isn't. It's really people who they get to know. After all, if you have an opportunity and a need for someone, don't you want to hire someone who you know? More than likely, yes. Well, if you're that person, the chances are you're going to hear about that opportunity before anybody else is going to hear about that opportunity. As for your employer may be somewhat happy that you're joining these organizations. That may be better for them, but also they may be put on notice that they could lose you. Sometimes if an employer thinks they could lose you, they're a lot nicer to you. So it can't hurt you at all. It can take away some of your free time by going to these organizations or dinners or whatever. But it can end up helping you either through moving to a different situation or keeping your employer worried that you might move to a different position and they want to keep you there. So either way you win and nowhere do you lose.